What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over the best ways to win as an imposter in Among Us. So, I made a couple videos on Among Us. I felt like this was a good video, kind of up my alley of videos I normally like to do. With that being said, if you guys like these kind of videos, if you guys like my Among Us videos I've done so far, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe. I also have a second channel. It's called Podcast Now Plus. It's in the description below. If you guys would subscribe to that channel too, I'm going to be doing more Among Us stuff, talking about the future game, maybe even doing some Let's Plays. So again, making sure that you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on to this channel and my second channel, Podcast Now Plus, would mean a lot to me. All right, so this is not a be-all, end-all. Obviously, everybody's different, and it's important to note that. It's important to note that for a game like Among Us, you are going to be playing with, most likely, people that you know, if you're going to be doing voice chat, which, by the way, we are talking voice chat, texting, or like the messaging system. You could do, I think it takes away a lot of this game, but bottom line is you're going to be playing with people that you know probably quite well, right? Or maybe new people, but you're eventually going to get to know them. So this may not work for everybody, and obviously everybody's different. And I get a big part of this game is lying, okay? To be able to deceive or lie, basically to your friends, to your loved ones, to whoever. We are going to talk about that. That is an entire thing here. But I want to go over a couple other tips before we get there, again, of how to win as the imposter. Obviously, if you guys are watching this, you know how this game works at this point. So, the first thing, which it could be an obvious one, but make sure you're pretending to do the tasks. So, you know the tasks just like everybody else, and that's important. It's a game that I think as an imposter, you will get better as the more you play this game, because you will know the tasks. Knowing a story, too, is very important, and so in order to know a story, in order to know a location that you came from, you generally want to make yourself seem busy, right? If you're an imposter, yeah, you have to look out for those opportunities to kill, which we'll talk about, but you need to be faking tasks. You need to be keeping in your mind, okay, if they ask me, I did this task, I was at this place doing this, I went to like fix the oxygen or to fix communications, even though I'm the one who set it off. All those things, you need to know that you were, again, pretending to do it, but also you need to look like it. Now, you see a lot of people, you can call them tryhards, you can call them whatever. You see a lot of people on Let's Plays like Mr. Fruit, Omewrecker, Cartoons, Delirious, all these things. Sometimes you can get really good where they know the tasks so well that they'll figure out if you're faking it because you're there too long or you're there not long enough. So that is, again, something that I can't go through every single task of all three maps for you, but you basically want to get a handle on what all these tasks are. So you're saying, okay, I know that if I'm shooting, the rocks in this mini game, I know how long roughly it's going to take me. If it's a wire game, you know how long it's going to take. You need to know those things because you need to know how long to stand in front of them in case there's other people around. You can't just run up to a task, run away in a quarter of a second, and then just say that you did the task. People are gonna eventually catch on to that. So that's an important part of lying. That's an important part of when you're actually playing the game. The second thing is picking the times to obviously attack. And I say that word because that's more YouTube friendly. So look, if you're playing if there's only one imposter, it's obviously a little bit more difficult. If you're playing with two, obviously double kills are one of the better ways of doing it, right? If there's 4 people in the room, 2 of you are imposters, 2 of you are not, taking them out could be a good idea. It's all about, though, so again, picking your spot in general, you got to be extremely careful because you have to keep in mind where everybody else is. And again, all part of building a very good story for yourself. If you're going to frame other people, you need to, again, have the right opportunity for that. If you're both imposters, say, you could probably gang up on someone. You've seen that, again, maybe in Let's Plays, where if there's 2 imposters, you take out one person when another person is probably, you could even do it if a person is literally right there, report the body, and then both of you maybe gang up on that individual. Now, again, these are all things where they're lying. You may not be a very good liar. You might not have a good poker face. Even though you can't see your face, your voice only is the thing here. But it all depends on the people you're playing. Maybe some people will say, well, obviously you two did it, and you're just trying to deflect blame onto this person. Maybe people are gullible and they'll fall for it. And maybe you don't have to necessarily be gullible to fall for that. But you know what I mean? There's different situations, but finding the best timing to attack somebody is key. Again, whether you want to place blame on somebody else else. If you're playing by yourself, or again, maybe if you're playing in a big group and one of the imposters is gone and so it's just you left, you gotta be very careful. You can't put yourself too close to somebody else. Then they would say, oh, well, you went into a room with somebody else and you came out and they didn't, and I found their body. You know what I mean? So obviously, like, there's situations where you absolutely can't do, but framing people, putting yourself, honestly, the best way I can do it, I figured out that I found out by playing, that I found out by watching. Here's what I found. There's no formula for this, but the longer the body is not discovered, the better, because that's more time where others can see other people doing things. If a body is discovered and they may, and you know what I mean? Like, same thing. So like a room, if you go into a room with somebody, you take them out, you come out, and like 10 seconds, even if you're not already like in the room, even if you're not literally caught right in that room, but if it's 10 seconds later and people saw you in that area and then you left and others came to do it, unless you're very good at convincing and saying, well, they self-reported or they're just trying to gang up on me, unless you take that approach and you're able to do it, then you're probably going to be caught. You're probably going to be stuck. The best way is, okay, if you do that and then maybe they don't find the body for like 1, 2, 3 different minutes, you know, or more minutes, well, now it can place you could be with somebody else for the entire time after that, and they could say, well, no, I was with them the entire time. There's no way they could have done it. You know what I mean? So, or I did like 5 different tasks afterwards, or I did this, or I saw all of these different people. How could it have been me? The only way you get that is if the body is undiscovered long enough. So again, that's all about placing, you know, again, where you're actually going to do your attack. The thing that follows that, okay, is gaining trust. So this is, again, kind of difficult, but it definitely plays into all the other things. Best way of gaining trust is to be around people as much as possible. There's a couple ways, and that's one of them. One way is to be with them and make it very clear that you could have killed them at any point, but you didn't. You see this often in Let's Plays. You probably have seen it if you guys have played yourself. You probably have seen it often. If you're stuck in like a room, if there's nobody within any earshot of you, okay, and you're with somebody for an extraordinarily long time and it's just you and them and nothing happens, you probably are going to have some kind, or you do that and then a body's found. That's even better, right? That's a really good way of saying, well, I mean, they were with me for like 85, 90% of the match. I don't really think they could have done it. That's the best. Or, you could take the reverse of that and say, well, I was with you the whole time. These guys are suspecting me, but I could have taken you out at any time and I didn't do it, so why wouldn't I have done it? You see that often happening. Again, it depends on who you're playing with. It depends on your style of playing. It depends on their style of playing, but that's a really good way as well. Tasks, again, so gaining trust, being around people, doing your tasks when they're doing their tasks. Again, faking it very, very well, having the stories in your head, knowing what locations you were at. And again, you know, when a body's discovered, you got to be careful because you can't say, well, I went into that room like 6 times. I mean, well, okay, well, that means you were, or where were you last? Well, I was in the room right across the hallway from it. I mean, those are things you don't want to say. You want to have a good story, again, by gaining trust, saying, well, I did this, and this task. I was around this, and this person. How could it have been me? I've been with you this entire time. How could it have been me? That is, in my opinion, those are the best ways of gaining trust of other people. So again, and to kind of finish this off, the lying thing. Look, I can't coach you on how to lie. I feel like that's a profession that's not up to me, or that I just wouldn't be a good at. Because ultimately, I mean, I'm a decent liar. I think I can be a better liar. I'd say I'm above average, okay? I don't think I'm elite. I'm getting better each time. But again, key things to know when you're lying are this. Have the story ready to go, again, what you were doing, who you were with, and also know when and when not to accuse. So you'll see this, again, kind of often in Let's Plays and different things where sometimes if you gang up on somebody, you could be looked at as like, oh, you know, you've messed up there. Several times with me, I was just a normal, crewmate. There was another person that was a crewmate, but he attacked me so much, and then the vote kind of ended, and then I went back after him, or maybe I was killed off, but then he looked extremely guilty when he actually wasn't the imposter. And that's the thing, by the way, when you're an imposter, that's what you look for. The best case scenario when you're an imposter is that you have people that are not imposters fighting each other. If you're one imposter, if you're 2 imposters, doesn't matter. If you have people that are outside the imposter group that are accusing each other, That is the best case scenario, and how you handle that is extremely important because you don't want to be too accusatory, right? You don't want to accuse too much because then they're like, oh, well, why are you jumping on? You have nothing to go after. You also don't want to be too silent because sometimes people that don't talk at all end up looking a little bit more guilty. You got to be very careful, but it's definitely the best scenario when they start accusing each other. You kind of hang around. Maybe you skip the vote. Maybe you say, hey, there's not enough information. Or maybe you start accusing each other, like, well, why are you going after them and why are you going after the, like, is there something going on between the two of you? You do things like that. Keep it completely off of you. And then final thing, who you choose to eliminate is the most, it's the most important for a game like this. It's most important for a game like Mafia or anything, is who you pick. You never take out the people that the others suspect the most, ever. You always take out neutral parties. So if there's 8 of you and there's 2 imposters, so there's 6 crewmates, let's say, 2 of those crewmates are attacking each other. You do not take out them. You take out everybody else except them because then that just makes them more guilty. I get it. You do that every single time. It starts to make it seem like, well, obviously there's like a habit going on there. But honestly, I feel like it's something in the something mental with people where that is just a guaranteed tactic. You never take out the people that are the most suspicious of the group. You always take out those that are the least suspicious because those are people that you would expect to take out. Same thing. If somebody's accusing somebody, you want to frame them in that, yes, they are still a possibility to be it. So guys, that's all I got for now. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think these are good tips? Do you think, is there any other things that you guys have noticed from when you were playing, from maybe watching, again, like a Mr. Fruit or Ohm or anybody that's been playing this game? Is there anything that you guys would add to it? Let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now, as well as my second YouTube channel, bell icons, and let me know if you guys want more videos like this. Again, I want to do Let's Plays. I want to do talking about the sequel to this game. I want to do more videos very, very soon. If you guys support this, if you guys like these videos, I absolutely will, okay? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.